Welcome to Toolbar Design 101, Introduction to Toolbar Design. My name is Abhijith Uppalapati and I will be your professor for the length of this video. The purpose of this class or video is to educate users on how to design a toolbar, or better yet, how to design a good toolbar. For those of you who are new to the concept of a toolbar or never heard of it, a toolbar is nothing but a representation of commands that are frequently used. Think of it as this way. When the television first came out, people had to always go to the big box to change channels and perform other numerous functions. Some ingenious person decided to keep the most frequently used functions or commands at hand's reach. So then came the TV remote into the picture. Do not assume the remote is a toolbar. That example was illustrated for you to understand the concept of toolbars, that is, using the most frequently used functions. Our class deals with toolbars such as the ones found in the web, such as this Yahoo toolbar, and also the ones that we commonly use every day, like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and so on. The concept underlying toolbars is to reduce the usage of navigating through the menu. Navigating through the menu can be cumbersome and sometimes endless. As seen in the picture, using a toolbar would perform the print function in one click, whereas navigating through the menu would take 3 clicks. The main differences between toolbars and menus are illustrated as follows. Firstly, frequency. Toolbars present only the most frequently used commands, whereas menu bars have all the commands in them. Immediacy. Clicking a toolbar might fetch results immediately, whereas menu commands might require additional steps. Directness. Toolbar commands are invoked with a single click, whereas menu bar commands require navigating through the menu. Size and presentation. Toolbars use icon-based commands, while menu bars use text-based commands. Self-explanatory. Toolbars need to use self-explanatory icons for efficient use. As seen in the picture, almost all of those icons convey their respective functions. Recognizable and distinguishable. For toolbar commands, distinctive location, shape, and color make icons recognizable and distinguishable, while in a menu, everything is dependent on labels. Now you must be thinking, why should I design a toolbar? I have menus, right? Well, the answer is quite simple. We design a toolbar for efficiency. The whole purpose of a toolbar is efficiency. There is no point in creating an inefficient toolbar. As we discussed earlier, its function is not to be dependent on the menu all the time. Toolbars heavily rely on icons. It is up to you to choose and identify the most common ones to reduce cognitive load of the user. In other words, the user shouldn't waste time trying to figure out what this icon means. Now you might be thinking, all I have to do is make a toolbar with the most obvious icons and my job is done. Let me tell you something, it certainly isn't. I will explain a few general guidelines on designing a toolbar, a few do's and don'ts. If you're sleeping, you have to wake up. This is the part you need to listen. For starters, the most important thing you have to do in a toolbar is create self-explanatory icons. I would bet all of you who are watching this video at least know 8 of the 12 icons. This familiar icon concept saves space in the toolbar. It is important to provide a small description called a tooltip to all the icons and labels. Tooltips provide relevant information to the user, such as shortcut keys, etc. When designing a toolbar, it is preferred if the order of sequence of placing commands is as shown. Icon, labeled icon which has both icon and text, split button which has a single click action and also a drop down, and finally the menu button which displays all the options available. Place similar functions next to each other and provide separations for dissimilar functions. Make sure all the buttons are affordable. By affordable, I mean visual properties of an object that indicate how it can be used or acted on. For example, the affordance of a button is to push it. The affordance of a doorknob is to twist it. In toolbars, it is important that the buttons are affordable to click. That is, they should pop out on mouse hover. The universal location of a toolbar has somehow always been right underneath the address bar in a browser, or just above the content area in any other application. Stick to conventions until you design a new one which is so awesome that everyone follows it instantly. But until you do, follow conventions. Now here is what you shouldn't be doing. Do not put too many icons and cram up space. It doesn't look good, and searching for icons would be hard. Do not put functions that are already present in the toolbar again in the options or some other part of the toolbar. In this case, the print function is already present as an icon in the toolbar. There is no need to put it again in the options. Constructive and destructive commands shouldn't be placed next to each other. We are humans and make mistakes and slips. The chances of us deleting a document when in fact trying to save it or print it are high when we place those two functions next to each other. The only function that should not have a label are the drop-down boxes. This is generally because they are mostly accompanied by another function which they are paired with. And finally, keeping an unfamiliar icon without a label or tooltip would only make the user wonder what that button would do and defeat the purpose of a toolbar. Okay, do not run away. I know it is the takeaway message and you want to leave, but seriously, I am not done with the class yet, so sit tight for a few more minutes. And what I want you to take away from this short lecture is that if you want to design a toolbar, design an efficient one. Surprise! There's a final exam. You thought you could get away with the free credits for this course, did you? Well, you still can if you close the browser, but I strictly encourage you to take this exam. It's very easy. Doesn't take longer than 40 seconds to finish the whole exam. I will show you 4 toolbar designs. All you have to do is judge if they're good or bad designs, keeping in mind all the principles we have just learned. On showing each question, you have up to 10 seconds to decide on the answer and write it down. All answers will be provided at the end of all the questions. Don't be scared. Like I said, it's very easy. Here's question 1. Moving on to question 2. You're almost done at question 3. And the last question 4. And that wraps it up. Here are the results. I'm assuming you scored 4, or at least 3 out of 4. In the highly unlikely event you got all 4 of them wrong, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I just want to let you know you failed miserably. Moving on to the results. The first one is bad because there's no separation or grouping. The second and third are good because of all the right reasons. Familiar icons, grouping, labeling, etc. And the final one is bad again because it has unfamiliar icons without labels. Hoping you have learned something from this short class, I bid thee farewell. Thank you for attending Toolbar Design 101. If you have any questions or want to provide feedback, please feel free to mail me using the email mentioned. Thank you and have a great day. Except for the one who failed. I want you to watch this video until you get all 4 of them right. Is that understood? Good. Now get to it.